Hey guys, welcome to Why You Should Play. This is the second video in the series. The first one was Power Stone. You can check the little link at the top or in the description below if you want to go check out why you should play Power Stone. Without further ado, we're going to be talking today of why you should play Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Second Impact, Giant Attack. I know, really long name. I don't know why they gave it such a long name, but the game came out in October 1997. This is the second installment of the third Street Fighter 3. The first one was Street Fighter 3 New Generation. Then now we have Second Impact or Giant Attack in Japan. They brought back returning characters from New Generation. So those characters involved Alex, Dudley, Elena, Ken, Necro, Oro, so forth and so forth. While also introducing Akuma, Hugo, and Urien. So this was like a whole new game. It added new mechanics such as EX moves. I believe this was the very first Street Fighter to introduce EX moves outside of like side games, which would be the Alpha series. But this was the very first game, and that was the arcade version that came out in the 1997. And the home versions didn't come out on the Dreamcast until about 1999, so about 2 years later. Around this time, Third Strike was in development, working for the masses to be put in arcades and in home consoles. So in this video, we're mainly just going to be talking about what makes Third Strike fun, or excuse me, not Third Strike, Second Impact fun, and why you should just play it. Learning the Second Impact combos, what characters, the stages, everything. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So getting back into it, we're going to go over quickly and very briefly the arcade mode and every other mode within the series of Second Impact, which would include the arcade cabinet version and the home version. We'll start off with the home version, and the home version brought two new modes, the parry mode and practice mode. As you're seeing here, the parry mode is just your standard like mode to help teach players how to master their parrying, obviously, and then the practice mode, obviously your standard run-of-the-mill 90s practice mode, really just to help you get through. And in the home console version, Gil is unlockable, so you can play Gil in the home version. The arcade version, not so much, but let's hop straight into the arcade version. So I want to just say the arcade version of Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, phenomenal. I actually had a great time. Going back and playing this was an absolute blast. And like, I remember playing this as a kid, but I never really remembered the stage transition on what is her name? I can't remember her name, but I'll show her on the screen. Her stage, oh my goodness, straight cool. First time ever seeing a quote-unquote transitioning of a stage in the series. So going back and seeing that again after so long was so awesome. Ken definitely gave me the work. I enjoyed fighting Gil. It was an absolute blast. The bonus parry stage was also fun. So it was really good. The arcade mode really establishes what Street Fighter 3 Second Impact was really about, showing off its art style, the music, and everything. So I would say while you're taking the time, really just sit down and give the arcade mode the time it deserves. And with that, that's just the arcade mode. It's very simple, simplistic, no need to, reinvent the wheel here. So without further ado, we're going to be talking about briefly again the character and stages / music. Because they cooked it with not only the art style of the characters, but the music. Let's just go straight into it, because I'll geek out all day. So while playing the game in arcade mode, I found a lot of things that were really cool. Like I mentioned before, the stage transitioning, just like, in Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. Not to that extent where, it can, damage the character. But it was cool to see that Capcom was trying to, show off something different. Though they kind of, didn't do so afterwards with any other stage, at least they attempted it. So this is actually the first time something like this was ever implemented into Street Fighter. So that's pretty cool. Like, this was the first for a lot of Street Fighter. First in terms of EX moves, different special moves per character, up to 3 per character. So Capcom was really trying here. So speaking of characters, let's get into that too. So I'm not going to go over every single character. I think that's going to be pretty redundant. You know, it's your standard Ryu, Ken, and stuff. But let's talk about the newcomers into this iteration of the game, which was Akuma, Hugo, and the Mad Chili Dog himself, Urien. So just to start off with Hugo, this was the third grappler we had. Before that was T-Hawk in Alpha series, and before that was Zangief. So this was the new generation's grappler. So he focused on slow movement, like really slow. Hugo's really slow, but in this game, Hugo was a monster. Like legitimately, not just talking about his glaring stature, but he was a monster. So his moves were the clap, the while running lariat. Hugo is a menace on the field, man. Another character that was introduced was like I said earlier, the Mad Chili Dog himself, Urien. Now, there's no game where Urien was not bad. This game, he wasn't top tier like his brother, but he was pretty strong. He had the mirrors. He didn't use fire and ice. He used electricity and mirrors. He was a high-level character. And he just was almost basically a watered-down Gil. Not watered down in the sense of like, oh, he's a bad character. He's not bad by any means, but just a character designed with the likeness of Gil. So he was really strong in that regard. His combo game is basically infinite. What you could do with Urien in this game and later games was just crazy. Like his combo game is immaculate. Him, Oro in Third Strike, oh, beautiful. So with those three additions to the game, it really added to the Wild Wild West feeling of New Generation, or Street Fighter 3 Second Impact. And what also added to that Wild West feeling was their experimenting with the stage backgrounds and also to the music. So let's play my favorite song. I'll let it be a surprise. Here, let's take a quick listen. So in conclusion, I want to end it with this. Street Fighter 3 Second Impact was a great game for its time. Though it wasn't received really well, it still is a great game to come back and see the evolution of New Generation to Second Impact to Third Strike. And it actually, in my opinion, actually has made the game of Third Strike a lot more funner. You know, seeing how the characters progress, going back and playing these. So I would say, you know, if you have some time, open up Fightcade and really just go at it, learn. Even it might sharpen your skills, you know. And I hope that in this game of Should You Play, or I should say game, but the series of Should You Play, should be more of an eye-opener, saying like just because you played Street Fighter 6 doesn't mean you're married to Street Fighter 6. It's like a previous akin to one of my old videos, I put it in the description, about you don't have to be married to Tekken 8 to enjoy Tekken. There's 8 Tekken games plus 3 side games, and that's not even including the Nina side game. So there's so much to enjoy within your series. You don't have to stay married to Street Fighter 6 because it's the new game. Especially when you have Fightcade and Discords that allow you to play these games online functionality with other people. So I say when you have some time, really express yourself through your fighting game checks and really learn what a fighting game is and take your time. So to end the video, I like to end it with this. This game, in my opinion, is 6.5 spinning bird kicks out of 10. And with that, I leave you. Remember, stay my X's. Peace.